warmly welcome you to the annual launch of one of the most significant magazines published by the Sri Lankan higher educational arena. The Department of Industrial Management of the University of Kelaniya proudly presents the magazine that bridges management and IT. Exposition 2015.
I'm Sagarlaka.
I'm Hiruni Nyunhela. We'll be your hosts this evening.
The Industrial Management Science Students Association, also known as the IMSSA, and will host the honor of launching the Exposition magazine over a decade. And this year, we proudly present its 11th issue, creating a benchmark of excellence.
It is tradition to light the oil lamp to mark the commencement of an event. Now, I cordially invite the following dignitaries to light the traditional oil lamp. Chief guest, the Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya, Professor Lakshman Senaviratne. Guest of Honor, General Manager, Group Human Resources of MAS Holdings Private Limited, Ms. Ashanti Veerasinghe. Keynote Speaker, Chairman of Diesel and Motor Engineering PLC, Mr. Ranjit Panditage. Deputy General Manager, Corporate Relations of Sri Lanka Telecom, Mr. Rohan Ellavada. Senior Treasurer, Industrial Management Science Students Association, Dr. Keerthi Vijayasrivardhana. Head of the Department of Industrial Management, Dr. Chamli Pushpakumara. Academic Advisor for BSc in MIT program, Dr. Kashika Rupasinghe. President, IMSSA, Mr. Kosal Nandasiri. Secretary, IMSSA, Ms. Buddhika Vikramarachchi. Editor-in-Chief, Mr. Darshita Gamage. A representative from each batch and a student from any invited school.
Thank you. Now I cordially invite the President of the Industrial Management Science Students Association, Mr. Kosaran Nandasiri, to welcome the gathering.
Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya, Professor Lakshman Seneviratne, Ms. Ashanti Veerasinghe, General Manager, Group Human Resource Mass Holding Private Limited, Mr. Ranjit Panditage, Chairman, Diesel and Motor Engineering Private Limited, and all distinguished invitees, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to all of you. At this moment, it's indeed a great pleasure to welcome all you warmly to this gathering on behalf of the Industrial Management Science Student Association. The Department of Industrial Management annually launches magazine Exposition, which bridges management and IT. And today we proudly release its 11th issue after a huge effort. So it's a great honor to have your valuable presence here, Professor Lakshman Seneviratne, Acting Vice Chancellor, the University of Kelaniya, as the chief guest of this special occasion. On behalf of Professor Sunanda Mathuma Bandara, Vice Chancellor of the University of Kelaniya, I warmly welcome you, sir. And also, next, I would like to welcome Ms. Ashanti Veerasinghe, General Manager, Group Human Resource Mass Holding Private Limited. Madam, your presence is a courage for us. Then, Mr. Ranjit Panditage, Chairman, Diesel and Motor Engineering Private Limited. I am delighted to welcome you this occasion, sir. And I extend my welcome to teachers and students of Anand College, Royal College and Muses College, Dr. Tamdi Pushpakumara, Head of the Department of the Industrial Management. I warmly welcome you, sir. Next, I welcome the academic staff of the department who are behind us like abiding stars at all this success, and also all the academic and non-academic staff members of the University of Kelaniya. And also I would like to welcome sponsors, all the other invitees, and my dear brothers and sisters. Along with the launch of the magazine Exposition 11th issue, we hope to hold the grand finale of the quiz competition between the Royal College and Anandin College, and I would invite to be with us throughout all these events. Thank you.
Thank you. The Department of Industrial Management has come a long way and has extended its service beyond the four corners of the university to create enthusiasm, passion, and also to pass on the knowledge to the younger generations. It has always been led by great leaders who has made it what it is today. Now I cordially invite one of the most pioneering personalities who has always been a great pillar of strength. He is none other than the Senior Treasurer of the Industrial Management Science Students Association, Dr. Keerthi Vijayasrivardhana. Sir, I cordially invite you to address the gathering.
Acting Vice Chancellor, Professor Lakshman Seneviratne. Today, keynote speaker, Mr. Ranjit Panditage, Chairman of DIMO. Distinguished invitees representing industry, teachers and students, from invited schools, my dear staff and students, ladies and gentlemen. This is indeed another milestone in the Department of Industry, journey in the Department of Industrial Management, Faculty of Science, University of Kelaniya. Our student body, Industrial Management Science Student Association, we call IMSSA, has been publishing their annual magazine, The Exposition, in this new format for about 10 years now. This is the 11th issue. Each year we saw how the quality of the magazine has been raised and how the editorial board worked hard to overcome the challenges faced by the editorial boards of the previous years. In fact, in this year, they started their work as soon as the 14th issue was launched last year. And we saw how they had been managing their time despite their heavy academic work to bring you this 11th issue. Not only they have made some arrangements to publish a quality magazine, but also have raised enough funds to host this event in grand scale outside the university. The exposition is one of the many activities or projects undertaken by our students during their candidature in the university. So, as academic staff, we always encourage them to actively engage in these activities to develop their skills, in addition to arming them with subject knowledge. Even though our annual intake is now only about 100 students now, 50 for the Bachelor of Science in Management and Information Technology degree program, and another 50 for Bachelor of Science in Software Engineering degree program. So as the department, we have already made arrangements to provide this opportunity to larger number of students in the future. So department has already got funding to construct a new building to increase our annual student intake and also to start new degree programs. For example, last year we completely revised our current Bachelor of Science in Management and Information Technology degree program. Now, the BSc in MIT degree program is a 4-year honors degree program, providing operations and supply chain management specialization, business systems engineering specialization, information technology specialization, and information systems specialization. And we also started a new 4-year honors degree program, Bachelor of Science degree program in software engineering in this academic year, the beginning of this academic year. In addition to that, we have got approval from University Grant Commission to start another Bachelor of Science degree program in information technology. So when all these programs commence, then our student intake will be over 200 students per year. Now these are some of the developments taking place at the department at the moment. So which school students would directly benefit. And with all these things in mind, I would like to invite all of you to experience what our current students have done today. So I must congratulate the editorial board of Exposition and all the members of IMSSA for organizing this event in this grand scale. A great job done. And on behalf of the head of the department and the Department of Industrial Management, I would like to thank our industry partners who came forward with generous funding and sponsorships to encourage our determined students. At last, but certainly not least, I must thank the Vice Chancellor, the Dean, our head of the department, and my colleagues in the university for their great support extended to make this event a success. With that note, I would like to conclude my very brief speech. Have a productive and enjoyable evening. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The Department of Industrial Management has always been an integral part of the University of Calgary. Over the years, it has grown to become one of the most recognized institutions in Sri Lanka. Now let's have a look at the milestones of this wonderful department. Ladies and gentlemen, please extend your attention towards the screen.
In 1967, the Faculty of Science of the University of Kelaniya extended its arms to establish the Department of Industrial Management, pioneering the engagement of management subjects to the curriculum of science-based undergraduates. In the 1980s, involvement of the trendy modules such as operational research and information technology took place, which gave it more value. In 2002, it introduced a unique combination of management and information technology in the new degree program, BSc in MIT, which indeed was a massive turning point in the entire Sri Lankan university system. Out of the very few students who get selected to the universities, only 50 are fortunate to get selected to follow this degree program after facing an aptitude test. From 2013 onwards, the BSc MIT undergraduates were given the opportunity to specialize in 4 highly demanded subject areas, namely Operations and Supply Chain Management, Business Systems Engineering, Information Technology, and Information Systems. This year, in 2015, the Department of Industrial Management has taken a new step forward by introducing the BSc in Software Engineering, which is the first and foremost degree program in the Sri Lankan university history, allowing direct entry to that field. The undergraduates of Department of Industrial Management are enriched by an outstanding assemblage of course modules which are further enhanced by field visits, industry associations, and segments such as personal progress and development, while enhancing the skills, personality, and competencies. The students are given the opportunity to embrace a global experience with learnings in English and Japanese languages. The second-year industrial training assists them immensely to deal with real industrial environment and to practice the theories they have mastered. Following the industrial training, in the third year, they engage in an individual project to solve a real-world scenario, making use of all the modules grabbed by them. In the fourth year special degree program, a research would be done by the undergraduates utilizing their analytical skills, which discloses ways for innovative ideas. The culture of the department is very much unique, where an extremely friendly environment is available, which indeed is rare in the Sri Lankan universities. The department has established a family-like environment with the concept of I am family. In addition to the academic activities, they are engaging in several other extra activities in order to gain cross-cultural experience and develop their individual attitudes. The events such as I am car wash, I am cricket match, I am trip, I am Pirit ceremony strengthens the bond between the undergraduates, alumni, academic and non-academic staff. Among all these endeavors, what stands out is the Exposition, the magazine that bridges management and IT. The magazine includes interviews with distinguished personalities and articles written by students and experts. The Exposition has been acclaimed as one of the best business magazines published by any Sri Lankan higher educational institution. The department includes lecture rooms which facilitates the entire student population and a special study area as well. The multimedia room with a capacity of around 300 holds esteem of being the department auditorium. The conference room provides opportunity for better and sophisticated discussion and presentations within the department. The IM Library holds esteem as one of the best libraries within the university and hosts latest reading materials. The Teaching Company Scheme partners some of the best companies which will guide our undergraduates on the functionality of the industries from within. This concept is introduced for the first time in Sri Lanka and is expected to be yet another leap forward for the IM family. The highly experienced and immensely dedicated panel of lecturers have been the pillars of success of the department and has guided its students along the avenues of triumph. The recent allocation of funding has allowed the Department of Industrial Management to expand itself beyond the existing four corners. The constructions of the new premises for the department has already commenced and will be equipped for students' use by 2017. The Department of Industrial Management has unleashed an unparalleled learning experience for its undergraduates and will continue to carve out the best out of its students.
Thank you. Since its inception, the IMSSA has always been an integral part of the University of Kelaniya. It has always stood out among the other student bodies as one of the most dynamic and professional student organizations in the university. This year, we have gone one step further by organizing an all-island inter-school quiz competition in collaboration with the launch of the 11th issue of Exposition. Now the time has come for us to commence the much-awaited grand finale of the all-island inter-school quiz competition.
First, I would like to invite the two finalist teams representing Ananda College and Royal College to take their places on stage.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you all for the grand finale of the inter-school quiz competition. Before we start the event, I would like to recall some of the rules of the quiz and the format. This will be conducted in 3 rounds, and each question will be directed to one team member, and he or she will be given 10 seconds to answer the question in one attempt. Can't have more than one attempt. If he provides the correct answer, the team will be awarded 10 points. If he or she fails, any other team member will be given the opportunity to answer, and only 5 points this time will be awarded for the correct answer within 5 seconds. If both attempts fail, the question will be, if the correct answer is given, 5 points will be awarded to the opposition, no marks will be deducted. In each of the above cases, a contestant must be given only one attempt. If there's any unexpected situation, the decision of the quiz master will be the final decision. Alright, you can start. Alright, we'll start with Team A, Ananda College. First question is, Sri Lankan cricketer Kumar Sangakkara retired from international cricket with the conclusion of the second test against India on August 24. During his illustrious career, Kumar scored 12,400 runs in 134 test matches. What is Sangakkara's test batting average? It's at 57.41. Alright, that's the correct answer. It's actually 57.4, but alright. The first question of Group B, the Royal College. In his Test cricket career, Kumar Sangakkara sits second in the all-time list of batsmen who had scored more number of double centuries, behind only to Sir Donald Bradman. How many double centuries did Kumar score in Tests? Right, that's the correct answer. Question 2 to Ananda College. In an unprecedented corporate restructuring, Google recently announced a 43-year-old Indian-born IT professional as its new CEO. Who is he? Good. The correct answer is Sundar Pichai. Second question to Royal College. The new Google CEO is widely known for spearheading the creation of Google's popular web browser shortly after he joined the company in 2004. What is the name given to Google's web browser?
Google Chrome.
Yes, it's Google Chrome. This time 5 marks to be given. The third question to Ananda College. Ecuador recently declared a state of emergency over the eruption of a volcano near the capital of Quito for the first time since 1877. With a highest of 5,897 meters, it is one of the world's highest volcanoes. What is the name of this volcano? Any other team member? Yes, Cotopaxi. Okay, the third question to Royal College. Located in the Andes on the Argentina-Chile border is the highest active volcano in the world at 6,893 meters. It is also the second highest mountain in the southern hemisphere and the highest in Chile. What is the name of this mountain?
Aconcagua.
No. Any other member? Any member from the opposition? Yes, that's the correct answer. Opposed, there is a lie. The fourth question from Ananda College. The International Association of Athletics Federations recently elected a former British Olympic champion runner as its new president, replacing Lamine Diack of Senegal. Who is this former British athlete? Any other member? Sebastian Coe. The fourth question to Royal College. Sepp Blatter, president of FIFA, the World Football Governing Body, is expected to step down in February 2016 amid an inquiry into allegations of systematic bribery. Name the former French national player and current president of UEFA, Union of European Football Associations, who is the fourth frontrunner to succeed Sepp Blatter.
Platini. Michael Platini.
Yes, it's Michel Platini. Anyway, accepted as the correct answer. The final question of the first round to Ananda College. What you see is a picture of the Sugarloaf Mountain. You can see it on the screen. Rising 396 meters, its name is said to refer to its resemblance to the traditional shape of concentrated refined loaf sugar. Sugarloaf Mountain is known worldwide for its cableway and panoramic views of the South American city. What's that city? It's not the correct answer. Any other member from the team? No, again failed. Any
Rio de
member?
Janeiro.
Yes, it's Rio de Janeiro. The final questions of round 1 to Royal College. What you see is a picture of the Table Mountain. It is a flat-topped mountain forming a prominent landmark overlooking a major African city. Table Mountain is a significant tourist attraction with many visitors using the cableway or hiking to the top. Table Mountain overlooks which African city?
Johannesburg.
Not the correct answer.
Cape Town.
Yes, it's Cape Town. Okay, we can start round 2. The question goes to Ananda College. He is widely regarded as the founder of modern management. This Austrian-born management consultant and author was a leader in the development of management education. He also invented the concept known as management by objectives, MBO. Who is he? Any other member? Anyone from Royal College? It's Peter Drucker. Right, the first question of round 2 to Royal College. He is widely regarded as the father of marketing. This American marketing author, consultant and professor is the author of over 50 marketing books, including the popular reference book, Principles of Marketing. Who is he? No. Any other member? Anybody from Ananda College? It's Philip Kotler. The second question of round 2 to Ananda College. This Lankan scholar and editor of Lakmini Pahana of yesteryear was a prolific author of 102 books. One of his earliest work include a 1920 book on general knowledge. He was also credited with sending the first ever telegram in Sinhala. Who was this literary great of Sri Lanka?
G.V. Senarama.
No. Any other member? Any member from opposition? Again, incorrect. Anybody from the audience? It's actually Kumaratunga Munidasa. The second question to Royal College. This Lankan scholar of yesteryear was credited with the discovery of mineral thoranite in Sri Lanka. Apart from being a research fellow of Boston Museum of Fine Art, he was also credited with translating the Datavansa into English. Who was this scholar?
Smuller.
Sorry?
It's Muller.
No. Any other name? Not correct. Any member from the opposition?
William Geisel.
No. It's Ananda K. Kumaraswamy. The third question is recently North Korea turned back its clock by half an hour to create a Pyongyang time zone. Similarly, in 2007, a certain South American country also moved its clock back 30 minutes, creating a fairer distribution of the sunrise to improve health. It is now the only country in the world that is 4.5 hours behind GMT. What is this South American country?
Samoa.
Not correct. Chile? Any member from the opposition? Wrong. It's Venezuela. The third question goes to Royal College. A certain Pacific island country completely skipped the day of December 30, 2011, jumping across the international date line to be closer to New Zealand and Australia, its biggest trading partners. What is this country? Any other member?
Samoa.
Yes, it's Samoa. Okay, the fourth question to Ananda College. In 1752, inventor Benjamin Franklin carried out the now famous experiment on his lightning conductor in Philadelphia using a kite in a storm. What item did he attach to the kite in conducting this experiment?
Key.
Yes, correct, it's a metal key. Okay, to Royal College. In 1879, inventor Thomas Alva Edison carried out a series of experiments in developing the incandescent lamp or light bulb. Though he didn't come up with the whole concept, his light bulb was the first that proved practical and affordable for home illumination. It is reported that Edison tested more than 6,000 possible materials before finding one that fit the bill. What was the material he used successfully in the end?
Tungsten.
No. Any member?
Carbon.
Okay, I will accept it as the correct answer. It's carbonized bamboo. Right, the last question of round 2 to Ananda College. This was the largest saber-toothed tiger that lived in the world during the Pleistocene epoch. It became extinct about 10,000 years ago. By what name was this animal known? Any other member of the team? From opposition?
Saber-tooth tiger.
Sorry? No. It's Smilodon. Okay, the last question of round 2 to Royal College. Regarded as a living fossil, this species of fish was once known only from fossils. It was thought to have gone extinct approximately 65 million years ago, during the Great Extinction in which the dinosaurs disappeared until the first living specimen was discovered in 1938. By what name is this fish or living fossil known? Any other member?
Iran.
Not correct.
Silaka.
Yes, that's right. Correct answer. Right, we are moving to the round 3. The first question of round 3 to Ananda College. Okay, the first question to Ananda College is, Singapore recently celebrated 50 years since independence in 1965. Who is the current Prime Minister of Singapore, who is also the eldest son of Singapore's first Prime Minister?
You.
Any other one?
Yes, I do.
Yes, that's the correct answer. Lee Hsien Loong. The first question to Royal College. Modern Singapore was founded in 1819 by a British statesman as a trading post of the East India Company. After the company collapsed, the British obtained sovereignty of the islands in 1824. And Singapore became one of the British settlements in 1826. Who is the founder of modern Singapore? Any other member?
Lee Kuan Yew.
Incorrect. Any answers from the opposition?
Lee Hsien Loong.
It's actually Sir Stamford Raffles. Alright, the second question to Ananda College. At the recently concluded IAAF World Championships in Athletics in Beijing, which American athlete set a new world record in the decathlon with a score of 9,045 points?
Ashton Eaton.
Yes, it's a correct answer. Ashton Eaton. Okay, second question to Ananda College. At the recently concluded IAAF World Championships in Athletics in Beijing, which British athlete won the men's 5,000 meter event to win his 7th consecutive world and Olympic title?
Dibaba.
I didn't hear you.
Dibaba.
Correct. Any other answers?
Muhammad Farah.
It's Mo Farah. Right, the third question to Ananda College. Which country's national flag depicts an eagle holding a serpent in its talon? Is perched on top of a prickly pear cactus. The cactus is situated on a rock that rises above a lake. What is this country?
Iran.
Sorry?
Iran.
No.
Mexico.
Yes, it's Mexico. Royal College. Adopted on 1st May 8, 1983, which African country's national flag depicts an AK-47 rifle with a bayonet attached to the barrel?
Mozambique.
Yes, it's Mozambique. The fourth question to Ananda College. SBU is a unit of a company that has a separate mission and objectives, and that can be planned and evaluated independently from the other parts of the company. An SBU may be a division, a product line, or an individual brand. What does SBU stand for? Time is up. Any other member? From the opposition? No, it's actually strategic business unit. Fourth question to Royal College. JIT is an inventory strategy companies employ to increase efficiency and decrease waste by receiving goods only as they are needed in the production process, thereby reducing inventory costs. What does JIT stand for? Any other member? From the position? It's just in time. The last question to Ananda College. He was the king of Portugal at the time of the arrival of Portuguese in Sri Lanka in 1505. His name is associated with a period of Portuguese civilization distinguished by significant achievements both in political affairs and the arts. In spite of its small size and population in comparison to the great land powers of Europe, it was able to acquire an overseas empire of vast proportions and with a global dimension. For the first time in history during his reign from 1495 to 1521, who was this king? Any other member?
60. Henry.
No, not correct. Any other member? It's Emmanuel 1. The last question to Royal College and last question of the quiz, hopefully. Who was the ruling monarch of Great Britain at the time of the arrival of British for the first time in Sri Lanka in 1798?
King Edward VIII.
Incorrect. Any other member? Yes, King George the Third. Yeah, that's the end of all 3 rounds of the competition, and we look forward for the marks from the panel of judges.
We kindly request the 2 teams to be seated. We will be announcing the winners in a while. He had his school education at Ananda College, Colombo. He is an engineer by profession and is a holder of the Diploma in Engineering from Germany. He is also a member from the Institute of Institute of Engineers, Germany. He joined Diesel and Motor Engineering PLC, commonly known as DEMO, in June 1973 and was appointed to the Board of Directors in June 1977. He became the Joint Managing Director of DEMO in November 1984. Then the Managing Director in 1986. He was appointed the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer in 1994. Presently, he is the Chairman, Managing Director of DEMO. Now, it is our pleasure to invite our keynote speaker of the evening, Chairman, Diesel and Motor Engineering PLC, Mr. Ranjit Panditagi, to address the gathering on youth, technology and sustainability. Sir, over.
Good afternoon, Acting Vice Chancellor, learned professors, dear students, children. It's a great honor for me to be speaking in front of very distinguished gathering. I have a complex here because at Ananda, I was not a good student. The bright students sit here, my classmates. They were the brightest. I couldn't get into a university in Sri Lanka, so my father had no option to send me to Germany. And there I had to do the preparatory courses and things like that to join. Here I am. Yes, I am a process engineer, chemical engineer. But today I am more a half-day accountant or a management stuff, doing managing about direct employment about 1,500 people, 1,006, indirect about 1,000, and company which represent about 75 top engineers brands from all over the world. Well, young minds for a new generation. When Dasara came and spoke to me and said they interviewed me, and then he surprised with me by asking me to speak to this intellect of this country. Thank you to the Department of Industrial Management of the University of Kelnia and the Industrial Management Science Students Association for inviting me as the keynote speaker. Youth, technology and sustainability. The youth of Sri Lanka comprise about 26% of our population. Without doubt, they play the biggest role in determining the future of our country and at 3 critical levels: economically, socially and environmentally, which generally covers the sustainability part also. You are the engine of growth that determines Sri Lanka's place in the world, dominated by large economies than our own due to the size, population and global political influence. How can our small but beautiful country make a difference in this world of 7 billion people? The answer is, without any hesitation, yes. We always believe small is beautiful. And this is a very, very rich country, and we have so much of natural resources in different ways, and we must be one of the most intelligent populations in the whole world. I'm using this most intelligent because I have read some. Not surprisingly, the world's first hospital was found in Minta Lake. So we can say we have a superb old heritage. Yes, we can do. And especially people like you all can do. The youth today are more informed than it has ever been in their lifetime. I think when we were in school, we didn't have all this. When I was studying, we didn't have even a calculator. I used to use the Germany called the Rechenschieber, the slide ruler. And with the technology influencing our society and the very way in which we do business, think of a world without emails, smartphones, vehicles and students doing business. We did it. We had vehicles, but I think our forefathers didn't have that. It's key in determining our nation's development. But it should not come at the expense of the environment. I'm emphasizing that very much today what the development has done to the environment. We have never been sensitive to the environment. And you, children, students, you all have to be very much more responsible in whatever you do looking after the environment. So that comes to our approach in sustainability. Sustainability in DEMO is to create value, responsibility. That's one of our slogans. To create value, responsibility. You see, in the business we do, we sell automobiles, among other engineering products. It pollutes. And there also we must make sure that we minimize that also. The concept of sustainability is different for other people or institutions, but the core message of responsibility in the long term of all that is being carried out needs to be adopted by everyone here today. The Sri Lankan people, all business owners and the government. But sustainability development doesn't mean that we should limit our growth, but instead change the nature of our approach. You see, you can still have growth, but approach to growth should be so that you don't disrupt the environment. Let's take an example. Carl Benz invented the combustion engine car 100 years ago. In their approach, they do not take into account the environment in their design in the national combustion engine because it was not a factor affecting the society and the economy at that time. Now today, Mercedes-Benz do so much of research when they do their vehicles. They look at the carbon emission in every engine that they develop. And today in Europe, you are taxed on the limit of carbon in your engine. Thus far they go on, especially on the combustion engine. They are into the best least possible impact on the environment, and new advances in the electric vehicles being constantly explored, which is without no doubt the future of the automobile industry. So you see, especially countries like us where we can make use of the solar energy, there will be a greater future for electric vehicles. Let us talk about the future and the role you as today's youth have to play. Inevitably, our nation's development with the increase of population, we have to take an approach smart cities instead of traditional cities. This is essentially the integration of technology into 6 key sectors to enhance the performance and well-being of the society and the economy. These 6 sectors are education, without which we cannot exist, the waste management, energy, water, transport and healthcare. The role as the youth of our nation in this smart city future where sustainability and the technology is integrated is critical. I have 3 pieces of advice to give to all of you here today. Choose a career in any of these 6 sectors of smart cities. Choose a career in any of these 6 sectors of smart cities. Your contribution to any of these is essential to the future of this country. You see, the entrepreneurship, if I take the German model again, you see about almost 75% of the people are employed in the SMEs. And you guys should not think that I should join this company, big companies, or go abroad to find jobs. Think that you could start on your own small businesses. There's opportunity. There's immense opportunity there. I have a friend in Germany. He has a turnover of more than 30 million euros per annum. He has invented, he developed dog collars, and he exposed dog collars to all over. Very specialized dog collars. Respect the environment is the one thing that each and one of us share. Respect it and take care of it. Your future and any business you are involved in depends on a clean and a sustainable environment. This is very, very important, ladies and children. Today, the amount of waste that we produce without any care is scary, very scary. Before I conclude my small speech, I would like to tell my observations about what I saw here today, the faculty and all. In the industry, you would like to know, one of the most challenging things we have mass, HR lady also here. The biggest challenge that we face is to get good people to run our organization. The good ones have migrated, and we are talking about the reverse. For that, I feel for the youth, the environment is not that conducive. The young person, definitely ambitions of getting married and all, you look at having your own house. For most of the people, it's beyond their reach. Then to have a small car even, beyond their reach. You see, we do not have proper public transport systems. I have been speaking to some of the politicians. We are talking about lower productivity. The lower productivity is not because we are inefficient or we are lazy. Just imagine a person who is traveling about 10 kilometers to his workplace. He has to spend almost about 2 hours to get to the workplace because we have any good public transport. And even if you get into a bus or a train, you are crushed. When you get to your working place, you are mentally not ready to give your best. Even if you get to clean the windows, you have to have some sort of training. That fellow is proud of what he is doing and is well paid. That's the society crunch that we have, and we have to get out of it because everybody can't get into it. The biggest menace that we have is, especially when you look at the construction industry, you can't get the people, the laborers to work, or a mason boss or a carpenter, because the youth today at the age of 80, if you can't do a lower level or A level, the next best thing is to drive a 3-wheeler. And because there's a quick butt there, about 2,000-3,000 rupees they will make. In the evening they will take a bottle and go to a set pen. They don't think of what is going to happen to my family or my future. Because if they work in a company like ours, we have to come to work at 8, 12:30 you will have half an hour lunch, then you have to work till 5 o'clock. And if you want to have a day off and all, they are all laid down. But if you are a 3-wheel driver, well, it's yours. But we have a serious problem. I think Singapore has done a very wise thing. Most of those taxi drivers are old people. I think in Sri Lanka also we must say 3-wheeler drivers should be over 55, so that we will get these young guys to the job market. That's very, very important. One day I was in a taxi in Singapore. That old man asked, "From where are you?" I said, "I'm from Sri Lanka." "Oh, in the 50s, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew sent us to Sri Lanka to study the transport and road system in Sri Lanka." And where are we today? We are looking at Singapore. These are things that the youth at that time has done. I hope you all won't do that. And most probably don't look at politicians or political career at all. That's not good at all. You can do your intellectual work in different other businesses. Finally, think of the big picture. We have duty not only to ourselves but to the new generation of Sri Lankans who will carry on our legacy to do what's right. Right is might, ladies and gentlemen. To be responsible, to be ethical, to not to take for granted what we have, and to take onto a future that changes things for the better of everyone. Not short gains that only benefit a few. This is one of the biggest problems we have. We look at short gains for my own benefit. We do not look at the bigger picture. The most powerful weapon you have at your disposal is not the bits and legs, but your brain and your voice. Don't use the voice without starting your brain. This is one of the biggest problems that we have today. Use or start the brain first before you talk. Using these tools can shape our country's future through technology, innovation and sustainable future. Once again, thank you very much for inviting me here. It's a great day for me to be among intellectual people and to sit next to my classmate. We were seated together when we were wearing shorts, right? And to see my old school Anandi and say, I hope you are a what? But in sports we always beat Royal, especially in cricket. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
Now I cordially invite the Editor-in-Chief, Mr. Darshita Gamge, to present the token of appreciation to the Chairman, Diesel and Motor Engineering PLC, Mr. Ranjit Panpiti. March this year, we initiated the work on Exposition, and since then we have come a long way. This would not have been possible if not for the support of our sponsors.
We would like to thank our Platinum sponsor, MAS Holdings Private Limited, Gold sponsor, Gold sponsor Sri Lanka Telecom, Silver sponsor Creative Solutions Private Limited, the partner of the quiz, International Quizzing Association, and our official online media partner, ReadMe. We would also like to thank Virtusa Private Limited, IFS Sri Lanka, Diesel and Motor Engineering PLC, Millennium IT Software Private Limited, Kapruka, CIMA, and the other sponsors for their immense support.
Of Industrial Management proudly owns undergraduates with a variety of talents and skills. Now it's time for an entertainment item to showcase the wonderful talents of the undergraduates of the department. Dear brothers, the stage is out to you. Thank you, brothers, for that performance. The Vice Chancellor of the University of Kerala, Professor Sunanda Madhu Bandar, is the major driving force in the university. The immense support given by him to the Department of Industrial Management is remarkable. Unfortunately, he was unable to attend this event due to unavoidable circumstances. In lieu of him, we have here the Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Kerala, Professor Lakshman Selviratne, to grace this occasion.
Professor Lakshman Selviratne has earned his Bachelor of Arts, specialized in Hindi, in 1995 from the University of Kerala. He went on to gain his Master of Philosophy, also from the University of Kerala. In the year 2007, he completed his doctorate from the University of Allahabad, India. He is a Vadya Visharad from the Badkhande Sangeet Vidyapith, Lucknow in India. He has 6 years of experience as a professor in the University of Kerala. He is known for his work related to Hindi linguistics and grammar, and also has many publications. Now, I cordially invite the chief guest of this evening, the Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Kerala, Professor Lakshman Selviratne, to address the gathering.
Dr. Chamli Pushpakumara, Head, Department of IM, Dr. PhD, Professor Lalish Munasinghe, Ms. Ashanti Veerasinghe, General Manager, Group Human Resource Mass Holding Private Limited, all academic members of the Department of IM, distinguished guests, dear students. As the acting Vice Chancellor of the University of California, it is a privilege to be given the opportunity to address this gathering at the launch of the prestigious Exposition magazine. Even within a single country, universities are expected to fulfill various and sometimes conflicting roles. Very few institutions can successfully and simultaneously carry out all of these functions. And I feel really fortunate to mention that University of California in one of those, and the Department of Industrial Management has consistently been a giant pillar that supported this glory. This has been possible as the Department of Industrial Management has been an integral part in the university, and it has been a shining light in the university through its achievements. For more than a decade, the Department of Industrial Management has been publishing Exposition, the magazine that bridges management and IT. From its humble beginnings, it has risen to become one of the best student magazines published by any higher educational institution. An endeavor of this caliber requires a lot of commitment and dedication. It is clear that the team of the undergraduates who put together the exposition has worked hard with a lot of passion. The introduction of the all-island inter-school quiz competition is a good move which actually promotes intellect among the future generation of Sri Lanka. It is yet another milestone in their journey. A sense of pride always implants within me as I see our students performing really well. Therefore, I extend my heartiest wishes to these undergraduates who are the seedlings that would grow up to guide the economy of the country in a new direction tomorrow. I also congratulate Department of Industrial Management, especially head of the department, and highly appreciate their efforts in watering, nourishing and nurturing these seedlings. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I now cordially invite the head of the Department of Industrial Management, Dr. Chamli Pushpakumara, to present tokens of appreciations to the distinguished panel of interviewees of the 11th issue of Exposition. Thank you, sir. I now Managing Director of Selling Exported Private Limited, Mrs. Sandra Vandulagaran. Thank you very much, madam. I next invite the segment head, Banking and Financial Services of Virtusa Private Limited, Ms. Anjali Thalesingham.
The launch of the magazine Exposition is a significant event in the department's calendar. Each year, Team Exposition embarks on a long journey of hard work and commitment to make it a success. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's have a look at the journey of IMSSA in making Exposition a huge milestone in the department.
In the year 2005, the IMSSA along with the Department of Industrial Management, initiated a new project that would take its glory to greater heights with the launch of the inaugural Exposition, the magazine that bridges management and IT. From its humble beginnings, Exposition has arose to become one of the best student magazines published by any Sri Lankan higher educational institutions. Exposition has featured some of the best student articles in which they have showcased their knowledge, imagination, and talents. The magazine also features interviews with the industry's finest in which they share their experiences and spells out their paths towards success. The 11th issue of Exposition features articles ranging from the deepest realms of information technology to the latest trends in management. The students have composed their thinking into writing on various themes. Their compositions from the academic staff of the department, while this year's issue also holds articles written by some of the best in the business. It is with great honor the IMSSA presents the great panel of interviewees. The 11th issue of Exposition unveils the reader to the amazing experiences of the panelists. This year, the IMSSA ventured into a new horizon with the expectation of integrating school students to a platform which already had undergraduates, academics, and professionals. The Exposition Quiz 1.0 was introduced with the Ministry of Education and the International Quizzing Association, Sri Lanka, wing with the intention of accommodating the best youthful minds into the Exposition platform. Sailing the high seas and steering the Exposition is, by any means, no easy task. It took the efforts of the many young undergraduates of the Department of Industrial Management.
Exposition, the magazine that bridges management and IT, has truly been a platform which provides the undergraduates the opportunity to showcase their ideologies to the world. Now we have reached the most awaited moment this evening, the launch of Exposition Issue 11, the magazine that bridges management and IT. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the launch of the 11th issue of Exposition.
This year we have launched a state-of-the-art website that has been using Bootstrap. Some of you might wonder what's Bootstrap. Bootstrap is actually a library that is developed in order to standardize the web. So the website is now up and running on www.theexposition.net domain. We have introduced the slider to slide through the main interviews. We have highlighted the interviews because we have interviewed one of the most heavyweight interview panels in the exposition history.
In the home page, you can find last year Exposition magazine and also preliminary round of the inter-school quiz competition. At the last, you can find the partners of the Exposition magazine. They give bigger support to us. Without their support, we can't realize help this magazine.
And we'd like to thank our partners, especially for the extended support towards our department. And then in tab view, we have articles. There are 24 articles, and once your mouse pointer is hovering around above one of the pictures, you can see the title, and once you click, you can read the content and the author. In articles, you can add FB comments. If you are on FB, you can add any comment you'd like. And there are interviews. These are the interviews that one of the interviews. And there is our team tab that it shows that team that made the exposition dream real. And then there's the contact us tab.
In the contact us tab, we can find all the contact details of industrial management departments and find the location of industrial management department with the Google map. So I hope you can get a good idea about this magazine and hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, Laila and Monica. In addition to the website, we have also developed an Android mobile application to be used to access the magazine through your smartphone, so that you could use it at your fingertips anytime, anywhere. For that, I cordially invite Mr. Nawab Ranjan of our app development team to launch the application.
For the 11th issue of the Exposition magazine, and I'm proudly honored to present that our Exposition app. And right now you can download our Exposition app via Google Play. All you have to do is to take your smartphone and search for Exposition 11. I'll say the name once again. All you have to do is to just take your smartphone and log into your Google Play account. Search for Exposition 11. And it may take a while to download that application. And I have to specifically say that that application is based on our web page. So it's somewhat similar to our web page. After launching the application, that you can see, there's after the splash screen, there's 4 buttons: magazine, team, credits, and exit. And if you click on the magazine button, you can see. If you click on the magazine button, you can see our entire web page. There's 4 navigation bars: homes, article, interviews, and contact us. In the articles, you can see there are 24 articles there are 24 articles, and if you see click on one article, you can see the entire content of that article. And in the interviews, you can see all the interviews that we have interviewed our interviewees. And the contact us tab, you can see the contact us information to our department. And the team tab, you can see our entire exposition team who have contributed so far for to success this entire project. And if you click on each member, you can see how we contribute to the development of this magazine. And credits, you can see in the credits, you can see who are the developers who actually developed this mobile application. And the exit button, you can log out from this application. So it's a really simple application based on our web page, and hope you can enjoy that as well. So now you have our printed version of this magazine, then the web version of this magazine, and the mobile version of this magazine. Hope you can enjoy that all anywhere, anytime as you want. So thank you.
Thank you, Rahul. She is the General Manager, Group Human Resources of MAS Holdings Private Limited, and has more than 10 years of experience in human resources in areas such as recruitment, performance management, competence and pay policy. Ms. Ashanti Veerasinghe, I cordially invite you to address the gathering on transition from student to an employee.
Good afternoon, Professor Lakshman Seniviratna, distinguished participants and students. Thank you for that introduction and the opportunity to speak here today. I represent MAS Holdings, and it is an honor to speak here today because most of our leadership are proud products of MAS Holdings of University of Kelaniya. My boss and our director Shakti Ranatunga also studied here. Unfortunately, he is overseas, otherwise he would not have missed this event. So, MAS is a young company. A few facts about the organization is that we started in 1987. The MAS, for those of you who don't know, denote the names of the three brothers. So it's Mahesh, Ajay and Sharad. Although we're 26 years old only and a very young company, we give employment to over 72,000 people. We have a turnover of 1.2 billion. We operate out of 42 plants, and we are in 15 countries globally. So we're actually a global company. We work with some of the best brands in the business. So we work with Nike, Victoria's Secret, Ralph Lauren. We're also very proud that we have our own brand, Amante. A month, we recruit about 64 executives locally from local universities such as Kelaniya. So there's a lot of opportunity within the company. We have a 17% growth rate year on year. And this is the kind of talent pool that we'd like to draw from. So it's to you that I want to speak to. And the presentation is really about you and how you transition from an academic to a professional. So, in 2013, the Wall Street Journal actually published an article on this, and they said, irrespective of what industry you work in or what field of study you are in, when you go into the business world, you will require 4 key skills. And those 4 key skills are as follows. So it's communication, it's personal branding, it's flexibility, and it's productivity. So I'm going to dwell very quickly into the 4 skills that you will need. So if we look at communication on the slide here, you will see that we should technically be very good at communication. A day we send about 73 billion text messages on different platforms. We also send about 188 billion emails. So technically communication should be very good. But research done by the New York University showed that an average person can't speak coherently for more than 140 characters, which is a couple of sentences. We are so used to communicating on digital platforms that when it comes to actually speaking face to face, we are not very good. This is mainly because we don't use grammar, we speak very casually on emails and other platforms. Punctuation is not relevant, we use abbreviations. So because of that, speaking is very difficult, especially for the younger people. And I see this often at interviews, people come, they sit opposite you, they have 400-500 friends on Facebook, but they struggle to answer a question at an interview. So communication is a very important skill, and there's only one way to build it. You need to practice. So there are two elements to communication. The first is you need to listen. And when I say listen, it means active listening. So when somebody is talking, you need to give your full attention. You need to nod your head, so you're telling that person, hey, I'm listening. And the second part is actually when you speak, gauge the audience. Speak in a language that you're comfortable with, speak simply. And you need to learn to speak to a wide range of people. And university is a great place to practice. So like speaking to a boss, you would speak to your professor. Like speaking to a teammate, you would speak to a peer in your class. And so it's a great practice ground. So don't wait till you have to face an interview or an opportunity in the work environment. Start now, because practice makes perfect. Also, we now communicate in many forms, and the infographic here shows you what different platforms people use to communicate. So you have Facebook, which you communicate through pictures. You have Twitter, which you express opinions. You have LinkedIn, where you post in your resume. And if you can see the numbers, they're all above 70%, 60%, 50%, which means more than half the people in the working environment use these platforms. So my advice is get to know these platforms, see how they work. And also if you're currently on these platforms, my advice is please take care about your professional reputation when you use these platforms. Take care to note what you post on them. Do not share gossip sites or personal opinions with regards to politics, controversial pictures, because you're a professional at the end of the day, and companies like us, when we go to recruit you, we look at these sites. We look at who you are outside of your work environment. Who am I bringing into this company? What kind of values do they have? Who are their friends? What opinions do they share? So just be conscious of that when you're on these sites. Be responsible. So moving on. Personal branding. The second skill that the article mentioned was personal branding. So when you meet someone, it says it only takes 7 seconds for them to form an impression of you. And in 7 seconds, they can either like you or they can dislike you. So what contributes to this impression are 3 things, and that is how you look, what you do, and what you say. So when you meet someone or you're going somewhere, you need to be very, very conscious of this. So if I bring in an interview setting, how you look, I don't know if the infographic is clear to you at the back there, but basically it says that this is a survey done across 2,000 managers who do recruitment. And they basically universally say that if there are 2 similar candidates with the same qualification, the way they dress matters. So before you go into an interview, research the company. How do the people dress? What is the work environment? Is it formal? Do I have to wear a tie? And when I'm saying this, I'm not saying go out and spend money on very expensive clothes or branded things. No, it's not that. It's actually go into the work environment dressed neat, dressed clean, and go onto the web, look at some of their pictures. How are the people dressed? Assimilate yourself with the culture there and go in like that. Also your body language. There are universal things that you can do to form a connection with someone. That is smile. It's the universal language of connection. So if you meet somebody, smile. That's also a sign of politeness. Shake their hand firmly. Ensure you do not have gestures where you're crossing your arms, because that looks like either you're very nervous or either you're not accustomed to what they're saying. So how you look and what you do is also very important, and as opposed to how you say. So once again, on the communication aspect, look at your tone, look at the words you use, and if you don't understand something, simply ask them, please can you repeat that? And also in an interview setting, what's very, very important is be honest. If you don't know something, it's better to say, I don't know, can you repeat it? Or I'm willing to learn, I don't know, I haven't done that, rather than come into an interview and say, oh yes, I know how to do that. Because you will be tested. In the corporate environment, if you say you know something, you will be put to the test, and then it's not like school, it's not like university, you'll be expected to get on with it. So it's better that you come in and you say you don't know, because as an interviewer, it's a humbling experience. None of us know everything, and we are very open to the fact that these are young people coming into the businesses. So honesty is a very important quality. So this is just a little bit of advice that when you come into an interview. So the two pictures you see are people who have built very strong personal brands. So whether it's profit or whether it's charity, personal branding is very, very helpful. So because these people have built such iconic brands, for example, Richard Branson, he's fun, he's active, he goes after things. You want to work for people like that. And Mother Teresa, she encompasses everything with regards to personal branding. She's humble, she's kind, she dresses simply. It's the kind of place that you want to go and volunteer. So when you have a strong personal brand, you actually leave a very lasting impression. So it's very important that you start working on this. And one of the ways to start working on it is actually look at people you admire. If you admire someone in a certain company, in a certain field, at the university, look at them, look how they dress, look how they talk, and see if you can adopt those mannerisms. So now I'm going to give a lighter note to the speech and take you on a little story, now that we discussed communication and personal branding. You can read it on the slide, I'm also going to read it. So it says, an eagle was sitting on a tree, resting, doing nothing. A small rabbit saw the eagle and asked him, can I also sit like you and do nothing? The eagle answered, sure, why not? So the rabbit sat on the ground below the eagle and rested. All of a sudden, a fox appeared, jumped on the rabbit and ate it. So this is actually a management story, and the moral of the story is, to be sitting and doing nothing, you have to sit up very, very high in the organization and in life. So don't come into the corporate environment and think, oh, I've got a degree now, I've got all these skills, I have now done my part. In a corporate environment, what we look for and what successful leaders are made of is people who make things happen. So I'm very proud to be here because I saw so many people who were making things happen from the time I walked into this hall. People were doing the videos, they've stretched themselves and done the magazine, they've interviewed thought leaders. Those are the kind of people we do want to employ in our organization. So for the rest of you sitting in this audience, get involved, make things happen. You don't have to wait till you join a company. These things are very important. When we see it on a CV that you've done things outside of your academics, we see that this is someone who takes initiative, someone we can count on, someone who will stretch the extra mile. So get involved, make things happen. Also in companies, we pay people who are productive. So even at MAS, we have a pay for performance system. So people who achieve goals faster, drive things higher, they can necessarily get paid more. So don't come into companies. There are sometimes we interview people and they think the dream job is going to be handed to them on a platter. That doesn't happen. We have to all work very hard. You're also competing with lots of people from all around the globe. We're a global company, so we have people from 15 countries working together with us, and it is a challenge, it is a race, and you need to ensure that you're productive throughout that race. And people who are productive, one thing they do really well is they can multitask. And when I mean multitask, in a corporate setting, you don't have a fixed lunch hour, you don't have a break. You have to do things on the go. There have been times even in my career that you skip a meal or you eat very late, or you need to learn to, it's not called work-life balance anymore, it's called work-life integration. You need to somehow integrate your work into the day-to-day things that you do. And the great thing about technology is you can do that. You're always connected. You have your iPads, you have your mobiles, you have your laptops. So you can work at any given time, and you need to find that, follow your passion, work hard, all that. So good people in our organizations are natural multitaskers. And you can practice this skill at university. Take a sport. Join a volunteer organization, lift your hand up to do an extra assignment, get involved because it's a skill that you can build. And if you learn it early, you become very good at it by the time you come to our organizations, and success will then be handed to you very, very easily. Also, good productive people, they also do something very well, they plan ahead. So they set goals, they keep to-do lists, they reflect on the day, they think, what did I achieve in the last 24 hours? Did I accomplish my goals? They're very good at planning ahead. And university is good preparation for you. When you have exams, ensure that you are planned, you have studied the right amount, you are not crashing on the day of the exam and things like that. So those are very good skills, and harness them right now because they are very, very important in the corporate environment. Also, in the corporate environment, you need to be productive as a team. So we don't give medals to individuals. Your entire team has to perform for you to win and the organization to succeed. So for example, although I'm in HR, I work very closely with production because I have to find people who can produce and manufacture. I work very closely with finance because I need to get money from them for my training programs to pay salaries. So it's a team sport. So if you are not pursuing a team sport or involved in a team activity, get involved right now. It's an important skill. Work on group assignments, take leadership. If people are weak in your team, help them out, because in a corporate setting, that's what we do. So it's a very, very important skill, and we look for that in a CV. When we see people have done team activities, held leadership positions, it's very, very important. And another thing, in an organization, there are rules. So when you come into an organization, get to know those rules. Get to know the people who run the organization, who is at the top, who are in positions of authority, who are the people that you need to know, who are the movers and shakers in the organization. Also, the policies and procedures of that organization. What do they do? What do they not do? For example, in our organization, we have a very strong code of conduct. So we don't discriminate. We are against harassment. We don't employ child labor. So as much as you are productive, you need to understand the rules of the game. So that's why sports are also important, because when you play a sport, you automatically inclined to these skills. So you understand rules, you understand team dynamics. So it's very, very important to get to know those. Last but not least, I can't stress this enough. Productive and successful people in our organizations are also very, very healthy. And you are young, so you need to start now. Eat healthy, take exercise, ensure that it's only in a healthy body that a healthy mind can survive. So pay attention to these aspects. And as a country, we are high risk when it comes to heart diseases, diabetes, and things like that. So ensure that you take up some form of exercise early on. Organizations also lose about 1/3 of their productivity because people get sick. There's research to show that people who don't exercise also take an average of 6 more days leave than a healthy person would. So ensure that you're not one of those people and start early. Get involved, because the earlier you do it, it becomes like brushing your teeth. Your nutrition, your health, all that are things you could focus on. Okay, last but not least, I want to talk about flexibility. And flexibility in our organizations is actually continuous learning. It's that willingness to learn. And not just your subject area, but a lot of other things, because in a corporate environment, it becomes very, very important. And the major point when you're talking about flexibility is actually flexibility with regards to your time. Gone are the days when you have 9 to 5 jobs and people, saying I only work Monday to Friday. We look for people who are flexible with their time, because we have customers overseas, we have suppliers in other countries, we have 24-hour shift running factories. So we need people who are very, very flexible and who go the extra mile. They're not going to clock off at 5 o'clock and say, oh, I'm done with the day. And this is where passion also comes in. So you need to have that sense of flexibility when you come into an organization. And we also want people who are willing to learn. So learning doesn't end at university. You can learn on your own. You can go for training programs on your own. You can read the internet. There's YouTube. The learning tools are numerous. And we look for people who are willing to learn other languages, study other cultures, because we are also expanding in other countries. You also need to be comfortable being mobile. So today we have factories extending anywhere from Jaffna to Panadura to Indonesia. So you need to be comfortable working with different cultures, different kinds of people, speaking different languages. So we are looking for global citizens. We are not looking for Sri Lankans, we are looking for people who are willing to be part of a global corporate team. So read, study, understand, and read the newspaper, understand what politics, what is going on around the world, what are the political scenarios, get involved, what are the petitions, what are the issues with human rights, amnesty that you can get involved in. And start early so you know about those things when you come into a corporate environment. Volunteer. So we always look for people who give back, who are not profit oriented completely. We look at people like Mr. Panditagay spoke, who care about the environment, who care about the fellow people that they work with. What charities can they help? Women in Need, Habitat for Humanity, UNICEF. Those are some of the charities that we work with, and we'd like you to get involved in those. So we look for people who early on take on charitable causes, because those kind of people actually, when they come into an organization, they care a lot. They care about the business, they care about the people they work with, and they care about giving back to society. And last but not least, we need to think globally. So even in the quizzes, the questions that were asked were global questions. They were not Sri Lankan questions. And those are the kind of questions that come up in our environment as well. So read up. Who are the marketing gurus? Who are the management gurus? Don't wait. You can subscribe to journal articles from Harvard Business Review to Wall Street Journal, anything that you're interested in, read. That is the only way that you keep evolving and continuously learning and being ahead of the game. So now that I've covered the 4 major areas, I just want to quickly give you a few takeaways that you can take for each of these areas. So if you want to improve your communication, start by joining networks like Toastmasters, clubs like Toastmasters. If you don't have one, you can even initiate establishing one, because it really teaches you to speak well. When it comes to personal branding, if you have no other resource, autobiographies are a very good way to understand how people build brands, because they talk about all the backward things that they did to get there, the back end things. So start reading up on those biographies. On the flexibility, volunteer. Habitat for Humanity is a great charity. They actually build houses for people, and they're looking for volunteers at the moment. MAS also partners very closely with them. So log on to their website and have a look at what they do. On the productivity, create to-do lists, work out, take on some form of exercise, look at your time management from now on. So those are some of the few takeaways that I wanted to leave with you all today. And the key message here is start now. It's never too early, so start now. And thank you.
I kindly request the Junior Treasurer, Heshan Anupama, to present a token of appreciation to Ms. Veera Singha on behalf of the IMSSA. I now cordially invite the Secretary of IMSSA to present a token of appreciation to one of our interviewees who arrived just now. The Managing Director, Mr. Peter de Almeida.
Now the time has come to appreciate a great personality who helped us immensely to make this event a reality. I call upon the Vice President of the IMSSA, Mr. Satidu Kavale, to present a token of appreciation for the Quizmaster for today, Dr. Chandra Rajabaksa, for his immense support.
This quiz was organized in collaboration with the launch of the 11th issue of Exposition, with the expectation of sending a message to the outer world and to create a passion for the future generations of the country. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for another exciting moment. that is to announce the winner of the All-Island Inter-School Quiz Competition. For that, I hand over the proceedings to the Editor-in-Chief, Mr. Darshita Gamadi. Darshita, over to you.
Thank you, Hiruni. In the year 2005, Exposition was inaugurated with the intention of integrating undergraduates, academics and professionals into one platform. And this year, the team Exposition decided that we should integrate school students into our platform, which we believe was one of the missing links. And thus we organized the All-Island Inter-School Quiz Competition with the collaboration of the Ministry of Education and the International Quizzing Association. So first, I would like to invite Dr. Keerthi Vijayasirivardhana, the Senior Treasurer of the IMSSA, and Mr. Siddharth Vaidesekara of the International Quizzing Association to give away the awards for the second runners-up of the All-Island Inter-School Quiz Competition. So, can I have you on stage? Ladies and gentlemen, the second runners-up, Muses College, Colombo. The team consists of Savi Vijayasirivardhana, Amasha Patrige, Mineli Tirumana, Pumari Navaratna, and Jitmi Malavarachi. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Muses College, Colombo. Ladies and gentlemen, Muses College, Colombo, the second runners-up of the All-Island Inter-School Quiz Competition. Thank you, sir. Dr. Chambi Pushpakumara, the head of the Department of Industrial Management, and Mr. Rohan L. Lawla, the Deputy General Manager, Corporate Relations of Sri Lanka Telecom, our board partners, to give away the awards for the first runners-up. Ladies and gentlemen, a short while ago, we had the grand finale on stage. And who do you think won and who do you believe are the first runners-up? Any guesses? Is it Ananda or is it Royal? Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of a grand finale, the first runners-up with 60 points, Royal College, Colombo. Captain Tom Anderson, Rami Vishwaratna, Gulanjana Madjan, Kavili Mandania, and Amar Gauss. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Royal College, Colombo for that great effort and for that great achievement here. Ladies and gentlemen, Royal College, Colombo. give the awards for the champions of the All Ireland Inter-School Quiz Competition. I got to invite on stage the chief guest of this evening, the acting Vice Chancellor of the University of California, Professor Lakshman Seniratna, and Mr. Tamit Vienage, Managing Managers of Engineering of Creative Solutions and GiftSmart, who are serious partners and who will be providing gift vouchers for the winning team worth rupees 25,000. The champions, Anand College, Colombo. The captain, Kumar Malawati, Sapir Adira Padana, Enuka Singwara, Subhasir Rasa, and Gauri Sangwar. The champions of the All Ireland Inter-School Quiz Competition, Anand College, Colombo. Ladies and gentlemen, the champions are the college.
Not everyone wants to win. It is important to keep in mind that in life, winning is not always about the trophies or the medals. It's more about learning and gaining experience. Thus, I am certain that every one of you is a winner today.
The 11th issue of Exposition is embedded with an assemblage of interactive articles. A distinguished panel of judges, including the senior lecturers of the Department of Industrial Management and the junior staff of the Department of Industrial Management, has selected the best 3 articles in order to appreciate the creative thinking of the undergraduates. To do the honours, I cordially invite the head of the panel of judges, Senior Lecturer, Department of Industrial Management, Dr. Julia Nanayak Karu. I would also like to invite the chief guest of the evening, Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of California, Professor Lakshman Seniratna, and the guest of honour, General Manager, Group Human Resources of MAS Holdings Private Limited, Ms. Ashanti Veerasinghe, to give away the awards for the winners.
And teachers from the schools, my dear colleagues, and the undergraduates of the BSc programs in the Department of Industrial Management, good evening to you. It is my privilege to proudly present among the very outstanding star articles written by professional people and interviews. We have articles written by our budding authors, our students in the Department of Industrial Management. As chief of the judging panels, let me first explain the process that we used for selecting the winners. We had a very large number of articles to choose from. So we had a 2-tiered process. First, screening by the first level of judges. Articles were presented to the higher level panel of judges, which included experts from different areas, all the staff in the Department of Industrial Management. From time to time there was debate and articles came to the front, went to the back,
and eventually we were able to find 3, the first 3 positions. That also rolled up and down around noon today, and ultimately we came to an agreement, and I am here to present those who have come up out of all those very outstanding articles by budding authors. Let's first have the article, the second runner-up. I will give a brief introduction to the article because some of you may not have had time yet to read the articles in the exposition. The second runner-up exposition is, what is the secret behind your dream figure? Some people have achieved the dream figure. Exercise, push-ups, diets and whatnot. Some people do this for once and forget about it, stop the exercise and live on sumptuous food. If you want to achieve results, you have to sustain your practice, maintain it, and make this practice your way of life. Make it your culture. The same is true for the lean project in organizations which want to be lean, burning those extra fat. Please applaud for the level 3 author, Mr. Bilal Hassan. Runner-up now, I can tell you some essence of the paper in this way. This is an article which bridges management and information technology, the theme of our vision. The world needs business process innovators, people who change the world using IT. We need business process designers. We need business process managers. Not only that, business process engineers. Such people can change so much in the organizations. The business analyst is the business analyst in the IT field. Or is he a person in the management field, a person who effects business transformation with a certain knowledge of information technology, using IT to change the world? The author debates the role of the business analyst and identified new professions in the field of management and information technology. The title of the article is Business Analysis, within the precincts of IT or outside. Let's give a big hand to the lady in the year 2, level 2, Hiruni Neunhaler. Now we have the climax of the moment. In the keynote address, the issue of productivity and the importance of people. People make this change. We talk about innovation and creativity with people, human resource management. The author says a DNA change is necessary for many people to make them innovative and creative. The problem is, how do we recruit or develop or train people to be innovative? They need multiple intelligence, rather creative intelligence. right brain people use both brains to innovate and be creative. The author says the need for the day is for strategic human resource management. That extra mile by making innovative HR in your organization. Let's have a big hand to the star of the evening, the topping budding author, level 2 undergraduate. Who is it? Miss Godika Madhu.
Behind this success, there are immense helping hands always, and it is time to extend our gratitude for them. Now I cordially invite the editor-in-chief, Mr. Dasla Gamagin, to deliver the vote of thanks.
The chief guest of the evening, the acting vice chancellor of the University of Calgary, Professor Lakshman Siniratna. The guest of honor, Ms. Ashanti Veerasinghe. The dean, Faculty of Science, Professor Kapil Siniratna. The head of the Department of Industrial Management, Dr. Chamdi Pushpakumara. Members of the academic and non-academic staff of the university, distinguished guests, and my dear brothers and sisters. Today I stand in front of you with great pride and joy. We have successfully reached the end of a quest which we embarked as a team. Earlier this year, I was handed the responsibility to oversee the successful completion of the 11th issue of Exposition, which has truly been a benchmark of excellence over the years. It was by no means an easy task. Exposition has always provided a platform, as I said earlier, which integrated all the aspects of the society. And this year, we introduced the Alliance School Quiz Competition to add value to our platform. And today, I can proudly say that we have been successful in our attempt. However, this would not have been success without the support of our many well-wishers. Firstly, let me thank the Vice Chancellor of the University of Calgary, Professor Sunanda Madhumbandara, for his support and guidance throughout. And it is my honor to extend our gratitude to Professor Lakshman Siniratna, the Acting Vice Chancellor of the University of Calgary, for his presence today. So thank you very much, and we really appreciate your time. On behalf of the team Exposition, let me thank the Chairman of Diesel and Motor Engineering PLC, Mr. Ranjit Panditge, who was our keynote speaker of this evening, and who was also who will be featured in the cover interview. And on behalf of the team, let me extend my gratitude for our guest of honor, Ms. Ashanti Veerasinghe, General Manager, Group Human Resources of MAS Holdings. Thank you very much, madam, and we truly appreciate your presence and your words of wisdom. Then I would like to extend my gratitude to the valuable panel of experts led by Mr. B. Almeida, Mr. Santa Fonseca, Ms. Sandra Banduragala, Mr. Dinanda Malakamua, Mr. Gary Mihan, Ms. Anjali Thalasingam, and Mr. Ranjit Panditge, who shared their experiences and their notions with us in our magazine. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, as it was an honor to host you all in the 11th issue of Exposition. I would also like to thank the experts who shared their knowledge and expertise through their articles in our magazine and added value for it. I take this opportunity to thank the Dean of Faculty of Science, Professor Kapil Siniratna. Even though he is not here today, he gave us support and guidance throughout. Let me also thank the Head of the Department of Industrial Management, Dr. Chamdi Pushpakumara, for the leadership and the guidance he gave us. And I would also like to thank Dr. Keith Sirivadana, the Senior Treasurer of the IMSSA. Sir, thank you very much for continuous support that you gave throughout. And I would like to thank the distinguished panel of lecturers for their encouragement, guidance, and the support which you all gave us throughout our quest, and for the trust and the faith that you had in us. I would also like to thank the non-academic staff of the department for their support in the event. This journey would not have been possible if not for the support of our most valued sponsors. Our platinum partners, MAS Holdings Private Limited, who partnered with Exposition for the 3rd consecutive year, and was also partnered with the department or in its many quests. We look forward for many more years in partnership. Our goal sponsor Sri Lanka Telecom, a big round of thank you for you all, and also our silver partners Creative Solutions and Geek Smart. And I would also like to thank our online media partners ReadMe, who have been putting live updates on their online platform throughout this event and also prior to the event as well. So thank you ReadMe. I would also like to thank the Ministry of Education and the International Quizzing Association for their support with the quiz competition. With this extreme gratitude, I thank Mr. Ruwan Senanayake, the country representative of the International Quizzing Association, and his team for their support. I also take this opportunity to thank all the principals, teachers and students of the participant schools, without whom this would not have been successful. Thank you very much. And a special shout out should go to the staff of BMICH for their efforts in preparing the venue and for their technical support, and staff of Samyavardhana Printers for the successful attempt in bringing the printed version of the magazine. I also want to thank the representatives from various organizations who are present here today, and it is a sign of encouragement for us to strive for your greater glory. This is a group of special people whom I want to thank most. As the editor-in-chief of the 11th issue of Exposition, they are the seniors of the Department of Industry Management who built us a platform during the past decade and ensuring that Exposition grew from its humble beginnings to where it is today. We thank you all for the guidance and support you gave us in this, and also for leaving us a challenge to live up to. I would also like to extend my gratitude to the IMSSA committee led by the President, Kosala Nandasiri himself, and for the great work and the great support you gave. Next is the student community of the department who were the strength and the backbone of our project throughout. At last comes the most important group of people, the group of people whom I met just 1.5 years ago, but have become an integral part of my life, my team, my batchmates. From the beginning of this quest, there were many moments of uncertainty and difficulty, yet at all moments, you all stood with me strong, and there were moments when I thought of giving up, and you all guided me and you all strengthened me. It was an honor to become a part of this team. It was an honor to work with this team, and it was an honor to lead such a team. So thank you very much, my dear brothers and sisters. So let me thank once again each and every individual who supported us in this endeavor. Thank you very much, and each and every one of you who are present today. And I would like to end by reminding one quote by Albert Einstein: "A true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination." Thank you very much.